There's only one way to blow up as an independent artist, and you need to catch on before it's too late, okay? And the one way to do so is to maximize your unique selling points or maximize your talking points, okay? So basically, think about every single artist that blows up recently. You know, they don't make good music. They don't make particularly interesting music. They don't look too well. But they have this one thing. They have massive talking points, okay? So think about, you know, these horrible rappers like Ice Spice or, you know, whatever. Like, they don't blow up because their music is good. They blow up because they have talking points, okay? And what do I mean by that? Well, the idea is that people need to see you 6 or 7 times before they're actually gonna listen to your music. You know, people need to see you on Instagram Reels or see your ads or whatever a bunch of times before they're actually gonna give you a chance, okay? But there's a thing that you can do to like reduce that time. If you can like show up in a very recognizable way, if you can become more recognizable, then people are gonna like remember you. And that is gonna decrease the amount of times they need to see you in order to actually buy into your stuff, okay? Because the thing is, with social media and Instagram and short form content and TikTok, what happens is like people forget what they see basically. People just scroll and forget. And you probably felt that too. You know, you scroll on social media and you probably forget what you're seeing. You probably don't remember the last 15 videos you saw on TikTok at the end of the day. And that's a huge problem for artists because you want to be remembered. You want people to remember your stuff. And when they go to listen to music, they're going to remember you. Well, the problem now is that people forget what they see, you know, and so we need to combat that. We need to focus solely on like becoming recognizable and becoming remembered and registering in people's brains, okay? So here's what you need to do. You need to look at yourself, okay? And you need to maximize the recognizability. And so this is why, literally, like record labels do this with every new artist they sign. They go through like a long artist development program where they literally design outfits and hairstyles and design the literally like looks of the artist to make them as recognizable as possible. And I'm not telling you to change anything or do anything stupid. Don't get face tattoos. But you must understand that like the reason why people like the Island Boys and Post Malone, why they kind of had like an astronomical kind of blow up, is because they are so recognizable with face tattoos or weird hair. And like the power of that in social media is so much bigger than you think. Because think about music, okay? Basically, you make a type of music. For example, you make music for people to listen to in the gym, or you make music for people in the parties or whatever. The problem is that you're marketing your music on like social media, for example. And when people see your music on social media, they're not gonna wanna listen to music. They're gonna wanna scroll on social media. But the trick is to make sure that they think about you when they're going to listen to music. When they're later going to the gym, for example, and going to listen to music, you want them to like, oh, that guy. You know, you want them to think about your music when they are actually in the mood of listening to the music. The problem with the nature of marketing music on social media is that people don't go onto social media to listen to music. And they probably won't like leave TikTok to go and listen to Spotify. Probably won't. So we need to find a way to be remembered in their brain and to be associated with the place where you're going to listen, where they are gonna want to listen to music. So basically what you need to do, you need to market yourself in a way that firstly makes sure that you're memorable, but also they're subconsciously associating you with the place where they're going to listen to music, okay? That's the big one. And now this means that you need to change the way that you use social media and your marketing completely, okay? The old strategy of just making engagement baiting and viral videos doesn't work anymore because that's not enough, okay? You need to connect your music to a place and a state of mind where they're gonna wanna listen to music, okay? So actionable steps, okay? Sit down and think, in what settings do people want to listen to my music? Okay, what setting do you make music for? Is it for when people are going on a run? Is it for when people are in the gym? Is it for when people are at the parties? Is it for when people, you know, want to look cool and be tough and feel good about themselves? You need to think about that. In what moments do people listen to my music? And then make videos targeted to kind of relating to those moments. For example, if your music is for people when they want to go out and look confident, make a video that's like actually like connected to that in some way. But remember, you need to look recognizable because you need to be memorable. You need to be memorable, okay? And I know this sounds kind of complex and theoretical. If you need help doing this one-on-one, that's literally what we do. So you can check the first link in the description if you're interested in that. And if you're not, just keep watching the video. And so basically the trick to doing this, the trick to kind of connecting them from kind of like social media to real life, you need to think about what emotions are they in when they're gonna want to listen to the music. Okay, do they want to listen to your music when they're sad? Do they want to listen to your music when they're hyped up? Do they want to listen to your music when they're motivated? Like, what emotional state of mind do they need to be in to listen to your music? Because at the end of the day, music is kind of emotional. It evokes emotion. People love to listen to music when they're feeling some type of emotion. And so you need to think about what emotional relationship your music has, okay? What emotional state is your music powerful in, okay? So think about that. And then make content geared towards that emotional state or geared towards people in that emotional state. So when they're in that emotional state, or like when they're happy, for example, they watch happy videos, make happy videos regarding to your music. And then when they're in a happy state, they're gonna associate maybe you and your music to being happy, you know, and they're gonna think about you when they want to listen to happy music if you're recognizable enough. And so that's why looks are so important, and like having maybe cool clothes or having cool hairstyle or having like weird sunglasses or whatever. Have something recognizable that makes them like stick in your head. No, you need to be like stuck in their head and tied to a certain emotional state. Okay, that's the key. That's the way. And if you enjoyed this, really would appreciate some comments or whatever. Just tell me about your music, where you're at in your music career. If you found this helpful, comment maybe some other topic or kind of place you're struggling in terms of your music career, and I can try and drop some game of how I maybe overcome that struggle. Because at the end of the day, like, everyone goes through the same struggles when it comes to music marketing. You know, I've been there, and I now help artists kind of get out of there. So please, anything you need help with, just comment. And I mean, take action now. I literally told you actionable steps to sit down, write down, and figure out your music career. Okay, so good luck. Peace.